Hi guys, welcome to the first episode of Buster's Book Reviews. Now, I'm going to try to do all these reviews without too many spoilers because I don't want you sending no Buster hate mail for ruining the books for you. And my scaling system is pretty simple. 5 stars means it's one of my absolute favorites and it don't get much better. 4 means that it was a very, very good book, above average, and I enjoyed it more than I usually do a book. 3 stars means it was a pretty good read and worth reading. 2 stars means I couldn't really get into it and it was just kind of boring and bad story. 1 star means the book should be doused with holy water and exercised. But we're probably not going to have any of those. Today, for the first episode of Buster's Book Reviews, we're going to have Blue Smoke by Nora Roberts. Now, this was the first Nora Roberts book I ever read, and I wasn't disappointed. It starts out with a girl named Katarina Hale. Her and her family get home from a baseball game. Then later that night, a horrible fire burns down their family restaurant called Syracuse. And from that day on, fire has just been her kind of her obsession. She's become so fascinated with it. And so the book goes through her timeline in her life, like going through college, going through her getting her job, and learning to become an arson investigator, and how to volunteer with fire departments. It's a very, very, very good and exciting book. And let me see, what else? Her love life is kind of tragic. She keeps having all these boyfriends and the relationships end so tragically. But on the other side, there's also this dude named Bo Goodnight. He saw her across the room when they were in college, and he fell in love with her instantly, but he just couldn't get her. And he keeps seeing her like years apart, and he can't ever get to meet her. But then he finally does, and they try to form a relationship. At that point, that's when Katarina starts getting these strange phone calls, and it seems like this person's connected to her past, and it kind of brings everything together. The only problem I have with this book is they keep mentioning the restaurant. It made me hungry for pasta and pizza all the time. If you read this book, you might gain 15 pounds. But all in all, I thought it was very exciting. It's got action. It's got romance, what have you. It's got interesting characters. Her family's got some very interesting characters. She has a very big family, and it's just about her loving her family, trying to protect them, trying to find love, and trying to figure out what's going on with her partner and everything. So ever since she saw the restaurant burn down that night, even though it was a tragedy, she always found something so mysterious about fire and wanted to learn more and more about it. And growing up to become an arson investigator, she sees some pretty interesting things. So I have to say, I really, really enjoyed this book, and Old Buster gives it 4 stars. It's an above average read, and like I said, the characters, I really liked them. They had great personalities. The plot was very good. It might seem a little slow paced to some people because you go through Katarina's life a little bit, but I think that's important to learn more about who she is and get to know her and everything. So I can overlook that. And I think it also needs to be mentioned there was a book based on this movie. The book wasn't as good as the movie, the movie wasn't as good as the book. But then again, not many of them ever are. It changed a few things, and it wasn't terrible, but I would give the movie 3 stars. It was still worth watching, but not as good as the book. I would read the book first if you want to watch the movie, or if you've already seen the movie, read the book, and you're going to get a lot more enjoyment. Alright, well that does it for this episode of Buster's Book Reviews, and join me next week when I find another good book to review. And for now on, as Chris says, happy reading.